last year, when, of course, Prince George was in the headlines for, some might say, all the wrong reasons, this was because apparently he got into something of a scuffle with a school friend and basically claimed, according to the media at least, that, well, don't push me around because one day my dad will be king. Well, two things I think to that. It's true. And also, why should they be pushing him around? You've got to learn to stand up for yourself, haven't you? That's my motto. I did find that story quite funny, though, you know what I mean, when you think about it. But as ever, there's a brand new story emerging regarding Prince George and exactly where he now fits in, particularly within the classroom with his mates. And who are they most interested in as the young prince, it emerges, comes out of his shell, and they realize exactly who they're possibly sitting next to, or in fact spending their break time with from lessons. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here. Nice to see you. I hope you're all well. By the way, I've just been into a few shops, and you know what it's like when they reduce all that Christmas party food. And we have a chef over here, Heston Blumenthal, I think he's called, and he did this really posh mince pies, right? For a leading chain. Waitrose. And they were all fig and something, you think, wait, just normal mince pies, Anyway, they were quite expensive. Boxes now, and I'm talking boxes upon boxes, 12 pence. That's right. So if you've got a big freezer, you could do well, couldn't you? But what it does make me think is, if they can sell them for 12 pence, and I know they claim, oh, well, they're going to be out of date very soon, but really, what's the profit margin on that? And if I was Waitrose, I would ask myself the question, seemingly, why did they not sell in the first place? With that star power name, surely they should have flown off the shelves. Leave that one to ponder. Back as ever to your Breaking Ball story of the day. Now, this story, as I say, I find, great fun, in fact, because one of the breakout stars, you have to say, at the Platinum Jubilee last year was none other than His Royal Highness Prince George. I love that picture when he's looking in great admiration at the late monarch on the balcony of Buckingham Palace. Little did he know that this picture would become such an historical focal point and will be used throughout of his life, because lots of people will ask him about our wonderful monarch of 70 years. It just goes, doesn't it? I mean, who could you possibly say has done more to represent our wonderful country as an ambassador for so many years? And one day, all of this will become his. But according to a very good source, Prince George at school gets on very well with everybody. Forget the sort of rough and tumble story. I'm sure that was a one-off. But apparently, according to that source, the person that they're really interested in is schoolmates, and I think this really is all to do with that picture. And the Platinum Jubilee was when he went back to school after the summer break, they all wanted to know, what was the Queen like? We didn't realize you knew her. That's, can you imagine? But kids are kids, aren't they? They don't necessarily relate the two situations. What I found interesting about this particular story is the fact that, you would have thought they might have said, oh, your dad's going to be king one day, or King Charles is now king, what's he like? No. What was our wonderful monarch of 70 years like? According to a very good source, he was telling his mum this. And of course, she pointed out that, once again, say what you think. I mean, the bottom line is you knew her and she was instrumental in shaping the early part of his childhood, spending quite a few Sundays with her out at Windsor. Interesting to note, isn't it, that even at her age, our late and wonderful monarch really did make an indelible mark, even on the young people over here, I'm guessing around the world as well. But of course, when he was stood next to her on that balcony, if you were a school chum of Prince George, you'd go, what, really? I never knew that. And of course, you want to sort of needle him a little bit more to find out more information. And apparently, he's more than happy to share. All positive, I might tell you. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.